Welcome to Critical Affection, where we affectionately criticize the pop culture that we love. I'm not Sarah, I'm Brian in hosting duties today because Sarah has a sick cat and a sick self. So I am here with my co-host, Amanda.
Hello.
And Fred.
Hi.
And we are joined by Danny J. Quick.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining
the
us.
movie we're here to talk about is The Last Dragon. And this was suggested to us by Danny, who may have said that this was a perfect movie. We'll see.
It is.
We've been searching for one of those.
Oh, boy.
But before we get into the movie, we're going to take a look at Danny's Kickstarter. Why don't you walk us through it?
Yeah, so this is Ace Blade issues 1 through 10. This is the Origin series, the one shot, and the Cash Rules Everything Around Me arc, all in one bundle. We're gonna have all 10 issues available, and we're gonna have 10 variant covers for issue 10 in this Kickstarter. And in the you can see, I think you might be able to see one of the updates there. It should say updates on the up above that image. If you see where right beside where it says story, it should say updates right above the 10 issues in a milestone moment. What I did on this campaign was I decided to give the first 3 pages of the story in there. So in that last update, there's the first 3 pages of Ace Blade number 10. And what I wanted to do is, because I heard Stan Lee say a long time ago, every comic is someone's first comic. I wanted to give kind of a draw-in, kind of the classic reporter reporting from the sidelines of the story up until now. Oh man, it's not showing up, but that's all right. So basically, if you go to the Kickstarter page, you can see the first 3 pages, and it's kind of a lead up from issue 6 until issue 10. So if you can only get one issue of Ace Blade, I'm perfectly fine with coming in on issue 10. I think that I just reread it again today. I got physical copies in, some sample copies in this week, and I was looking at it and I was like, man, this is probably my best work so far when it comes to the Ace Blade series. So I think that it's a really good jumping on point, and it's also the finale of the Cash Rules Everything Around Me series. So I'm really excited about it.
What can you tell us about the main character?
So Ace Blade, the story is about a man named Terrell Durham who believes he's the best fighter in the world. He is an MMA fighter, and in the first issue, he kind of does the classic daredevil. He's in over his head when he's asked to throw a fight. He decides not to, and somebody dies because of it. Somebody dies because he decides not to throw the fight. He really only wants to prove that he's the best fighter in the world, and he thought that being in this industry, he could do that and make a living from it. So long story short, him finding out that this world that he was building, this life that he was building, was fake, makes him decide that he wants to put on a mask and fight supervillains, and that's how he's going to prove that he's the best fighter. He's going to prove to himself and to the world that he's the best fighter, even if he has to do it under a pseudonym as Ace Blade. So the first 4 issues are kind of his origin, why he decides to put this mask on and fight supervillains. The 5th issue is a one-shot called Villain Season, where Ace Blade fights 4 villains in one night. Those 2 are 2 of the villains that he fought in that 5th issue. That's Blackjack on the top left there, and then Hammerhands on the panel, on the second panel. And there's also Roulette and Gutshot. So those 4 villains that he fights in one night. And then issues 6 through 10 are the Cash Rules Everything Around Me arc, where he not only has to fight supervillains, but the system that created them. So this 10th issue we find a fake Ace Blade has shown up to Terrell's gym where he teaches children. He teaches children how to defend themselves and martial arts. And a fake Ace Blade has shown up to take one of his students to jail. So, he has to step in and fight the fake Ace Blade as Terrell Durham without revealing his secret identity. So it's the classic. It's a bunch of classic, comic book tropes all in there at the same time, and it's really a fun story. But there's a lot of emotion and there's a lesson to be learned there at the end too. So, we're having a good time with it. I really enjoy writing it. It's a kind of a reflection of myself as an Army veteran and some of the things that I learned and when I was deployed about, not just believing that who they say is the enemy is your enemy. You have to get in there and meet people and have contact with folks to know, who the real bad guy is and if the person that you're fighting is your real enemy. So.
What kind of inspiration from real life did you use to write this? Obviously, said the service. Yeah,
but also, I'm a husband of 20 years now and a father of 4 children, and I decided that I was going to put my kids in this comic book. So my daughter Stephanie, who just graduated from high school. She is the Stephanie in the comic who the fake Ace Blade is coming to arrest. And then my son DJ is one of the kids in the gym that Terrell Durham is teaching. And I just think that, it's really corny, but I believe the children are our future. If we can, teach them well and let them lead the way. I really do think that these kids are growing up in a world that is, really crazy. I know every generation probably says that, but this world is really, really crazy right now. There's so much that could lead them down wrong paths. There's so many things that intend on leading them down the wrong paths, and they need people to, real people that are connected to them that they can trust and they can go to when they need help. And that's very important to me, and that's why. Ace Blade in his, when he's not fighting crime is, teaching these kids how to defend themselves and how to, spot the real villains in their lives.
Nice. Can you tell us anything about the different villains he faces besides the, doppelganger Ace Blade?
Yeah. So, I love, the golden age of comics. So a lot of the villains that he faces are named after casino games. We got Ace Blade, you see, is the Vegas vigilante, and he operates in the fictional Vegas City, which is Las Vegas. So we got Gutshot is the main guy. He's Ace Blade's main nemesis, and he got his name because he was on performance enhancing drugs, and he literally in a fight punched through somebody's stomach, and they are now deceased. So he got his name Gutshot from that. But then we got Blackjack, who is an elusive Catwoman type. We have Roulette, who is our Ice Mr. Freeze type, and then we got Hammerhands, who is also a fighter who was on those same performance enhancing drugs, but lost his arms because of it and returned to fighting with prosthesis. And ended up going viral by beating people with prosthetic arms. So, he does that to stay in the limelight and to make money. Those are the main villains. But we got some more coming up in issues 11 through 14. We got some new villains. Ace Blade is going to be fighting a group called the 99, and we have a young Eureka, who is a kind of a Jigsaw Riddler type.
How long do you see the series taking? Like how long do you intend it to go?
If I could get, I think I can tell the entire story that I want to tell in 100 issues, and I think that would be that's my goal, is to do 100 issues. There's a overarching story. I actually wrote a novel. I wrote a novel before I started writing comic books, and I think that I could get everything that I need in there to accompany the novel in 100 issues. Nice. And if I can keep this, if I can do this comic book for the next 10 years and do 10, the next 10, 20 years and really get them rolling, I'd love to, to get that 100 issues done. All right. Time for the Last Dragon, right?
All right. Put that into the YouTube chat.
Okay. There we
Fred,
go.
do you want to say something about your?
Yeah, real quick, I'll go because
Kickstarter?
I know we're ready to get to Last Dragon. But Fisticuffs is the story of a functional drunk whose comfortable life derails when a one-night stand has deadly consequences. It is the sense of humor of The Boys meets the explosive action of Invincible with the kind of personal storytelling that you would get in a Martin Scorsese movie, as it deals with a lot of heavy topics like dysfunction and addiction and things of that nature. So right now, our goal is we're very close to unlocking our first stretch goal at $4,500. All book 4 covers will be available in foil. That's the first treat. So we'll be able to, we'll open up an upgrade tier. So if you've already got a copy of book 4, you can upgrade to a foil variant or add one to your order. So that's where we're at now, hoping to move towards those stretch goals in a timely manner. We got 10 days left, so please, guys, do everything you can to spread the word and let people know about what we've got going on. As you can see there, this is a heavy issue. He fights, our protagonist faces down a giant blooming onion, with the lives of many at stake. So please give it a look. And as you can see there, we have a lovely variant cover by Kiss Kiss, which again will become foil in a little while once we hit that stretch goal. So please continue to support, and most of all, for those of you that have read it, tell your friends. Oh, and of course, our favorite, the Blossom minifigure, made by our own Brian over here, who it was just a fun conversation one day, and he brought it, birthed it into reality. Hey, Fish, thank you, brother. Yeah, it's such a cool figure, and I'm so excited to just get to do really cool stuff with this project as we keep building it. So guys, continue to help us build and grow, and thank you guys. Thank you for everybody that's supported so far. Yeah, Lori modeled for us. Modeled the T-shirt. All she asked for was a shirt in return. Very kind of her. So yeah, it's we've had a lot of people help out, and a lot of people come through for this project. So I'm very grateful to everyone.
I got a question about Fisticuffs. Is the
Yes, sir.
Is the Bloomin' Onion trademarked by a certain company, or is this
It is a nondescript onion. I made sure that we didn't call it. It is just called the Blossom. It is a very vague blossom. It is not to infringe on any entities that may have their own twist on the onion. In fact, our very own Amanda made sure that I double checked that before we got too into it. So we did our research. We are not infringing on anybody's particular onion.
There we go. Okay. All right. Just want to make sure.
That's
Appreciate the CYA.
I love it.
But who would have had a great battle against the Bloomin' Onion would be Bruce Leroy. So we can get started with The Last Dragon.
No, Fred, do you want to start with your opening thoughts?
Man, what a kick in the face that opening is, right? You have no idea what this movie's going to be. And I think Sarah called it the most 80s movie, most 80s opening ever. And that was really apropos. I love the opening. I love the vibe of it. It's my only knock on it, in general, is it's a little too spaghetti at the wall for me. There's just too much of every type of everything going on. But for what it is, an killer 80s soundtrack, martial arts, Bruce Lee meets Breakin'. It's freaking awesome and a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. I didn't expect to. There were times that I was like, I was like, I wasn't sure, but ultimately, shitload of fun.
Good way to describe it.
Yeah.
Danny, what are your thoughts?
Okay, so yes, I have in the past said that Barry Gordy's The Last Dragon is a perfect film, and to me, it is. To me, it is a perfect film because it does all the things that you need a movie. You need a movie to establish a world. You need a movie to establish rules, and then use those rules to navigate and grow characters. And Bruce Leroy definitely went through a journey. In the beginning, his master tells him, he says, okay, you've reached the final level, and then he says, but I'm confused because you told me when I reached the level I would get this glow. I would have this glow. And he said, I'm glad you're confused. I'm glad. That's part of life. So are vengeance, fear, and love, right? And all of them must be embraced before you reach the final level, and then you'll get the glow. And the entire movie is following that path. The vengeance of him going after Sho'nuff, fear of the unknown with Eddie Arcadia, and then love with what's her name, Vanity, right? So you got all these different characters who represent these different things. Morgan, stop it, man. I love this movie. You got all these different characters who represent these things that he has to go through to get the glow, and then you find out that it's inside of you all along. So just a perfect setup for a movie. That opening is iconic to me. The soundtrack, and then just taking the journey to really find the master that was in you all along.
If I can add one thing to that point before Amanda ruins this, I think
I don't know that for sure.
I to your point about it being a perfect movie, right? One of the things that I talk about when I rate movies is like is the assignment, right? Like, did they achieve the assignment? And this movie, for what they set out to do, to make a fun martial arts movie in the genres that they were playing with and stuff, like they executed it exactly how, that's the thing that I think a lot of creators that's a home run, is like when we're like, this is the project I want, and it came out exactly how, or better than I wanted to. And I guarantee you that the filmmakers can look back at this and be like, this is what we were hoping it would be. Now, tear it apart.
Amanda?
Brian, would you like to go?
So yeah, I saw the cover for this. I saw the era it came from, and I set the bar real low. And it was a $10 million budget. And I know in today's money, that's called a student film. And obviously not in 1985, $1 million. It's a lot longer. And I was very pleasantly surprised by this movie. It did some things very well, even from the opening sequence of like, oh, this is good filmography. Like, they're showing some interesting stuff. They're not just rolling the credits over some stuff happening. Like, it was well done, and it kind of made me recalibrate for quite a while. And ultimately, I am very glad I watched it. I don't think I'm going to need to rewatch it once a year, but it was definitely worth the time. And I can't say that about everything we've watched.
There you go.
That's extremely true.
All right, gloves off. Amanda?
So from my perspective, I think that this is a movie that if you know going in that this is going to be campy and that it is a musical martial arts film, that you've set yourself up correctly to view and absorb the movie. And that this is the kind of satire that Mel Brooks wishes he could write and direct.
Oh, well,
This is this has complexity that I wasn't expecting and enjoyed. And while it did have camp, there was a lot of social commentary sort of wrapped up and layered in that might not have been obvious, but it was there, and it seemed like it in a lot of ways was a very grounded movie, even though it was completely over the top at the same time. And so it was a pleasant change from a lot of the other movies that we have seen.
Hey, I'll take it. I'll take all of that.
Is it too late to get Morgan in here?
No, Morgan refuses. So he doesn't like older movies at all. So anything, that has bad graphics or, is filmed, and his main disappointment with it is the martial arts in it. And I'm like, it's an 80s, music.
They did have a martial arts choreographer that was doing their best, but like martial arts and martial arts in the movies are different things.
For sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
And for the special effects, they were.
Oof.
I was going to say they were surprisingly competent. They don't look any worse than.
They're terrible.
For the time,
they look. Like compare them to like James Cameron's Terminator. Like when they run the electricity over the screen. Like it was competent for the time.
The 80th movies to ever.
I mean, the hair, the outfits, they were very zeroed in on the 80s. So much of the shoulder pads, the volume of hair and the number of seagulls that died to make that happen is truly epic.
For sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I will say, I give it even so. The more times I watch the film, and I watch it a lot, it's literally one of my comfort movies. So I have it on Blu-ray. I have it on my Prime, Prime account. I have it. I have a downloaded copy on my PlayStation. It's it's one of those movies that I watch all the time.
Morgan, I think you're comparing apples to astrophysics here. Just because they're both moving pictures does not mean they can be compared.
But so again with the opening. So in the opening, when the master tells him, he's like, listen, if you need to find a master, if a master is what you seek, go find some dumb guy. He's here in New York. And give him this trinket, whatever. When you find him, give him this. And he says, now go on your journey. And then the soundtrack, the music comes in. If you ever go back and watch it, you'll see the first words of the song are look within, for your reality. So literally in the transition to him going to the journey, they're telling the audience, look inside yourself, because that's where the master is. And like little stuff, I don't even know if that was intentional.
It was. They telegraphed that ending.
It was
from the first minute.
Yeah. Oh, I knew there was no master. It was all internal,
and that was fine.
Yeah.
That was.
So, and I think the first time I saw this movie, I was probably 12 or something like that.
Okay, so you haven't seen the trope 100 times already.
Yeah.
Right. So it really, just connected with me and kind of really shaped me as a person to be like, yo, I'm in control. And, I know we're going to talk about it later, but Ace Blade's whole thing is, he doesn't have any superpowers, but he teaches his kids that self-control is their superpower. So literally you being able to control your emotions and control your actions is what will make you powerful in your community. So, this music, it means a lot to me. It means a lot to me for sure.
That's awesome.
But it was cheesy. It's very cheesy.
Oh,
that's fine.
Super cheesy. And every time you kind of like start to angle at a criticism for it, if you kind of like look at it further, there's more going on, which makes it interesting. Like the martial arts, they never say what his martial arts are. It's just the martial arts. And that was definitely bugging me. But then I started kind of looking at the styles that he had. And it was pretty clear that they were basically doing an homage to the different Black martial artists that had come before them. Like they had definitely the karate, and there's like the Black Karate Federation. They had ninjutsu, which the founder of American Ninjutsu who brought it to America was a black man. So they were
I did
just
not know
bringing,
that.
yeah. So they were
Awesome.
just bringing in all of the different styles that black martial artist masters had mastered and putting it in there and calling it martial arts. I was like, oh, okay, I can get behind that then.
There was a lot of, and Morgan refuses to acknowledge it, but there were a lot of things in the movie that, you know, culturally, like even with the Asian guys who were doing the rap, you know,
Oh, yeah.
like there's a lot of, even today, there's a lot, you know, of exchanges culturally between, you know, black culture and Asian culture. You know, there's a lot, you know, breakdancing and you know, all kinds of things. And for Bruce Leroy to be, you know, his real name was I don't even remember his real name. Leroy Green. Leroy Green. You know, his real name is Leroy Green, but they nicknamed him Bruce Leroy. You know, and for him to be walking around, you know, with the with the straw hat and in the outfit, the Bruce Lee outfit, and then to go to an Asian neighborhood and to see, you know, the Asian guys rapping and using, you know, slang and things like that. I thought it was really impact. I mean, I thought it was really cool and really reflective of, you know, the neighborhoods that we live in.
There's also a good commentary on how that, not cultural appropriation necessarily, but like how the cultural pieces definitely transfer pretty fluidly. And the if they had just had Leroy by himself, all in Asian gear, without the Asian characters going for full rap and everything else, it wouldn't have been that equality, that parity. So having both of them in there made it less racist and a little more cultural exchangey, which was good.
They committed to the bit.
That's where the satire came in, which was great.
Mm-hmm.
And they did that in a few places, which
And that's tough to balance.
oh, so tough.
So
Yeah.
Did y'all consider? So, I would say that there were two antagonists in the movie, but I don't consider Sho'nuff as a bad guy. You know, I consider him as kind
tried
of
to murder him.
he was a guy.
He was a bad guy.
He's a bully and a dick.
He beat up
No.
a little kid and destroyed his parents' place just to get him to fight.
Yeah, man.
Mm-mm. Oh, and that scene, 100%. What is up with holding back Mom? I wanted to see Mom like, okay, perfect scene would have been Mom grabbing the pizza peel with the long handle and doing some kung fu moves. And just showing that she was the old school martial arts that had given birth to the new school martial arts, and just like swept them a little bit out of the store. I would have loved that.
And it would have been a perfect
amazing.
movie. Just missing that.
I never
35
thought about
seconds.
that. But there is something that could have added a little bit to the movie. I do agree with you. That would have been great.
I think we're losing
the women
Morgan.
Really got the short shrift in there. Like they had Laura like start beating him with the purse when they first tried to kidnap her, but the second a man appeared in the scene, she just was standing there being held and screaming and letting the boy do all the work. It was like, oh no, thank you.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, we really only like there was Mom, Laura, and Angela, the white Madonna, Cyndi Lauper wannabe. And so those were just the three women that we had, and they did decent. I will say that for especially with they took the minor characters and they flipped it around. So like normally in the more mainstream movies, you'll have the two black characters who are sort of supporting and doing things, and you won't learn much about them. They'll be kind of cardboard. And here they have the two white characters for that, and then the white woman normally wouldn't. She'd just be the bimbo, basically, who's the singer. But instead, they gave her a moment where she got to kind of, stand up to power and tell him how he's making money and getting by on her tits as well. And so, like, really, having that moment and being able to leave the scenario. So that was interesting. They were showing that you don't have to have characters that are not primary, just be cookie cutter, and you can actually do something with it. And that was really nice.
And it didn't take much.
No.
It went a long ways.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, I liked it. I like the I really liked her impact. That Dirty Book song. I hum it all the time. I hum that Dirty Book song all the time. Um, the soundtrack is another thing to itself. But my kids they get tired of it. But my son thankfully has come around. It's one of his favorite movies now. So
There's enough brainwashing. You get your kids to watch something enough times, it works out.
yeah,
That's how all family traditions start. Come on, people, let's be real.
that's true.
Yeah, other things I would change is I would have liked a little less of the slurs. That'd have been nice. Did not enjoy the slurs. Yeah.
Danny, is there anything you would change?
I think that I would probably no. There's nothing I would change.
I guess so.
There's nothing. I was gonna say I think it should have a sequel, but it shouldn't have a sequel. Like I think that
It would be tough.
yeah, it's really tough. But I do know there's some comic book friends who've been trying to figure out the right situation to it because they wanted to explore Sho'nuff's backstory a little more. They wanted to
Second to Last Dragon.
yeah, they wanted to kind of go into his backstory to see what made him into the person that he was. So
Mhm.
I
There's
think
some
that would
good room for camp in that story.
for
I would
sure.
love to
I
know what
mean,
it,
He's so
He-
over the top.
He flamboyantly brought the camp repeatedly. So yes,
Mhm.
yes. That
Honestly, I'd watch
has
that.
all kinds of possibilities. And I mean, just the Shogun of Harlem, like there's a story there. There's a story there.
I would love to know what the responsibilities that title entails.
You gotta
It's mostly
throw in
bureaucracy.
one kid into a trash can per month. Kick one jukebox. Standard stuff.
Got quotas.
Yeah.
Gotta meet the minimums. Fred, what would you change? Anything?
I mean, maybe a few things like here or there. It's kind of hard to pick apart something that went to use a phrase I like so much and for creatives and stuff to put your dick on a windowsill. This movie just kind of threw it out there and was like, this is what it is. Yeah, it's a phrase. Robert Zemeckis uses it. He says sometimes artists just need to put their dick on a windowsill. Just put it
That's
out there.
incredibly sexist.
Well,
It implies that all artists are men and they're the only ones who will be able to put it out on a windowsill, so they're the only ones who have value. So fuck that.
well, yeah. See, no, I figured you would like the movie, so I wanted to give you something else to pick apart this week.
Son, just gotta put your bits on a windowsill. Then.
Your genitals on a windowsill. Yes. So, this movie, they shot their shot. This is what the movie that they wanted to make, and they 100% did. Who am I to say, I would have toned this down or changed this or whatever? No, it was awesome. It had a lot of it was a lot of great stuff that I liked at the time. Kind of all united. It had elements of the latter Rocky movies. It had elements of Bruce Lee. It had elements of Breakin' and those types of movies, which I really liked Breakin' when I was a kid for some reason. I couldn't break dance, but I still thought it was really neat. So it was a lot of fun. But like I said, it's a little spaghetti at the wall for me. At the end when the kid is he's tied up in the chains and he's just breakdancing out of them for no reason. It's but
that was your line? That was your line.
Come on the windowsill right now.
All right, we're being demonetized.
I'm sorry. I guess that was my line. I'll think more. Maybe I had another line.
I thought it was cool that Ernie Reyes Jr. I don't know if this was his debut movie as the kid, the martial arts kid. He ended up playing Kino in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, I think it was.
Times
and
Time? Or
He was also and he was also
Michael
in
Bay version.
and he was also in The Rundown. He's a great martial artist, and I just there's so many good things, but there were some bad things about it too.
It was a
Especially
little embarrassing when the kid was on this on the screen, and everybody else is like going through their stuff, and you're like, oh, that kid's practiced.
Yeah.
There are 2 people with martial arts training, and one of them is 12.
But a fun movie. I'm gonna have to watch it. I'm gonna watch it again before the month is over. I know.
Oh yeah. The I think that the music part was very bolted on. Like the entire plot line of having the video producer trying to squeeze his way in, and just it was very it felt like because the music producer was the one producing the movie, they kind of had to put music in, and so that's how they did it. And so it's kind of flowed from that to a certain extent. It works together ultimately. I loved the story that the writer was telling, though, that he wrote it both out of a frustration of having gone on one too many auditions for gang member number 2, as well as he actually saw inside watching a martial arts movie in a theater, a martial arts dance battle between some kids in the aisle. And that's part of what kickstarted the movie idea for him. I was like, okay, that's cool. That's very 80s. I can see why that would like latch a writer's imagination.
Where did you hear that? I never heard that part.
I read a couple of different articles. I'll find them for you and link it, because I just love finding stuff out about these kinds of things. It's like, oh yeah, the artist, the writer really got into it. Nice.
See, that's the movie. If y'all ever get Morgan Iverson on here, he will not shut up about Hereditary. That is his movie.
Oh, I'll pick that one apart. I don't like.
All right, Morgan, get on here. Let's talk about it.
I refuse to watch it because I don't do like spiritual horror. So I refuse to watch it. But he claims that it's a perfect movie. So
no. I'll take that challenge. I'll Amanda that movie for him.
Oh, your name's a verb.
Yeah. It's.
So for Eddie Arcania, I could see how it could be tacked on, but I think that, you know, the whole perspective of him trying to, you know, kind of weasel his way in and then, you know, make money off of something that he didn't, you know, that he wasn't part of, you know, is also a real life thing. You know, a lot of times
100%.
These producers, these you know, money men and women come in, and they, you know, want to take something that they don't, you know, really have any connection to and figure out how to exploit it and make money off of it. And you know, at the end when he said even after, you know, he caught the bullet with his teeth, you know, even in the end when he's like, okay, I've lost, he's like, hey man, just give me 10%, I can take you international. And he just still wouldn't give up. Like he still wouldn't, you know, just give up that he was beat, you know, that he wasn't going to be able to take this thing and profit off of it. And I think there's a lot of different layers in this movie. Every time I watch it, I see something else.
Absolutely. The more I thought about that character and the setup for it, the more interesting it was, because solidly just music people in general, or industry people doing things like that in general. Also, white people coming in and swiping Black culture and music, 100%. But also, he was taking a swipe at the producer, because the producer was someone who went out and made stars and carefully curated their look and did everything. And I'm like, are you biting the hand that feeds you? This is very interesting. Oh, I like it. So he's not afraid to like lampoon everyone. I was like, okay, nice.
Did he make more movies besides this? Like, did he have a lengthy career, the filmmaker?
The writer or the filmmaker? Because the filmmaker did go on to make others. He was actually a little bit known for doing like comedy, campy with subversive cultural components. Okay. The writer, I'm fuzzy. Let me double check.
I thought it was the same person because it had like the Barry so and so's like Sir credit or whatever. You know, like
no. The Barry's the producer, and then there's a writer and then the director, and they were all three different people.
Morgan walking it back.
So it said that, you know, he's done some episodes of Grey's Anatomy, and as a director, I won't only see a couple of other writing credits: The Coriolis Effect and Bird on a Wire, which I've never seen either one of those.
Because it's
So-
pretty, it's directed pretty well. Like it's shot well. It's
Yeah, Michael Schultz was the director.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
See?
Barry's Place, Disorderlies.
Disorderlies.
And then Louis Venosta was the
The writer.
writer.
Yeah. I did not know that.
Yeah, black producer, black director. I was trying to figure out if Louis is a black writer as well, but I wasn't entirely sure.
I'm not sure. He looks like he might be. The picture on his IMDb, he might be part Asian. I don't know. I don't want to stereotype my man, but
Right? Yeah. You're like, want to give credit where credit's due, but also, yeah.
See,
yeah.
now I get to do more research. The Blu-ray edition that I have at home has like the commentary. So
Ooh,
and
nice.
that's the thing that my wife hates so much, because I'll watch a movie and then rewatch the movie with the commentary. I do it all the time, and she's like, "Okay, the first time I'm with you, the second, third time I'm leaving. I'm out of here." But that's the thing that I definitely love to do. So, but like hearing like how this, like I'm sure a lot of movies were just like every day it was like, this could be the last. We're not gonna be able to make this movie. Like we're not gonna be able to finish this movie. And like there was miracle after miracle that allowed him to keep going. Barry Gordy, as the producer, came in and really, he was really passionate about it. So he saved the project a lot. So,
Yeah.
But hearing like this thing, all from the way they tell it, it almost didn't happen at multiple times. So, and I'm not surprised either, because this is it's a different kind of movie. And I know there are other, blaxploitation movies, there are other martial arts movies, there are other, musicals, but this is one that has a kind of unique intersection of all those things.
Yes.
And I'm just glad that it got made.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I mean, they made like 33 million. So it's not like it was a wild flop or anything. And then it went on to be the cult classic, and apparently it gained a lot of popularity, like word of mouth, rentals, and then eventually, of course, streaming and whatnot.
And now we got 4 new people who watched it in 2020.
Exactly.
So that's cool.
All right. Does anybody have any closing thoughts before we do the quiz?
I think for me, I would recommend this movie for a lot of my friends, especially the guy friends who like the martial arts and the campy movies. But anybody who's kind of into B movies, this would be right up their alley. And it's like, it's not even a B movie. It's like a B plus. Could it be an A minus? Like, I need to think about it. But yeah.
Is this your favorite movie that we've done on the show? Because I like,
I
Brian,
think
correct me if I'm wrong, this is like the best, this is the kindest she's been.
I believe this is kind of I've been. I mean, I have called out the whole, treating women wrong and racial slurs. But like other than that, we're doing pretty good.
Better? Do you think it's better than Hebrew Hammer?
Oh, see, that's tough because those are both satire, but yes.
I agree.
Wow.
It is.
Didn't y'all do Alien recently?
Yeah, she didn't like Alien.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Alien is one. That's another one of those that Morgan. He's doing his top 100 horror movies list right now, and Alien is going to be ranked very high. It's going to be ranked very high. No, it's a classic. It's just a classic for sure.
It's a top 5 horror for me too. Yeah.
It was very
And the
instrumental in
remaster is
changing
so
how people
good.
viewed the genre. So I can understand why it has a lasting impact on folks.
Yeah.
There was a lot that needed fixing.
I gotta get Morgan on. I gotta get Morgan on this show. I gotta get Morgan on this show for sure. Ah, see, there he is.
Oh, Morgan, come talk with us.
I gotta get Morgan on here with y'all. He's got a book coming out soon too, Harlem, issue 2 of his Harlem series. So
Ooh.
I'm definitely gonna have him get with y'all on an episode or two.
Yeah, that's great.
For me,
Morgan, start thinking of a movie that you want us to watch.
I recommend this movie to everybody all the time anyway. Because I do think that everybody should see a movie like this. They should see a movie like this, and it's a unique experience, but I think there's something in it that everybody can enjoy, whether you like martial arts or musicals or just campy cult classics. I think there's something in it that that anybody could like, and like we both said, there's a lot of layers to it, and the more you watch it, the more you uncover. And I think I'm probably on my 100th watch of it, and I'm gonna keep playing it.
I don't think I'm gonna rewatch it soon, like I said, but I'll probably queue up the soundtrack.
Yeah.
You want to hear more about Dirty Books, don't you?
It's a solid song, man. It's a solid song. I love it.
I just keep remembering her outfit for the second music video where it was like taxi cab headlight. Yeah. I'm just like, it was just so 80s. Oh, yeah.
Timu, Cyndi Lauper.
So Fred, who would you have watch this? Who comes to mind when you're like, oh yeah, I totally have to tell so and so?
I honestly have a few friends that I can recommend it to right now, but anybody that like genre movies, it's a lot of fun to like you said, it's like a weird intersection of like musical, martial arts and I don't know. I mean, I have a few individuals in particular, but probably people more in my age group. I think, like younger people might be like a little taken out by the effects or whatever and stuff. Whereas like somebody that's like in my 40s era, like I said, well, they'll see it for what it is, and they'll see it like, it's like I thought the effects were pretty contemporary to what else was going on in bigger budget stuff. So yeah, I mean, I got some friends that would definitely be up for it.
Now I'm super curious what other musicals were around that time frame, and if this was one of the first ones that wasn't like Super White People Oklahoma. And that'd be interesting to know. I'm gonna have to check.
Okay.
When did Dreamgirls come out?
Yeah. I think that was a little
the
later.
quiz
That was
ready?
like 2000.
Yep. I should probably share if we're gonna be doing the quizzy bits.
Yeah.
Hey, I think it's
And
that
everyone watching should join us in the quiz. Just navigate to play.blookit.com and we'll get a 6-digit number for you. If you win, Sarah's going to send you a sticker, but she's not here to show us what it looks like. So,
I mean, what do you want the sticker to look like, Danny?
maybe Sarah will take requests.
Sometimes does.
Either some Ace Blade stuff or some Last Dragon stuff. I don't know. I do
Shit,
got
out of Last Dragon.
Yeah, it's generally on the movie we watched.
movie. Something with the glow. This I don't know.
Yeah, I was kind of
Oh,
thinking
that's
the
a good
glow
one.
too.
Special effects glow on the maybe hand and fist cross, one glowing red, one glowing gold.
Or just make it a little chibi.
Let's make Sarah draw
They
hands.
just made him such an innocent little child that,
I would like a shown off chibi. I think that would be fun.
That
Well,
would be fun.
that would be fun.
Okay, I think I found it. What's the 6-digit code? How do I
It
find
is 682-657.
Oh, there's the share screen. That's
Oh,
my
okay.
fault. That was hidden and that was my fault.
I'm gonna play.
All
them
right, so everyone,
There we go.
go to play.blookit.com. Enter 682-657. Play along.
Penguin.
And for anyone who's not in the show, don't listen to us because we're on a slight delay. So if we're talking about the questions and stuff,
And we usually
we'll
are.
just distract you. Yeah, we're totally gonna. And all of us are gonna be in there. Danny, you should join us as well.
I'm in there. I think.
And our single viewer should join us as well.
Morgan, hop in there.
Morgan, come on in here. He's probably watching the Knicks right now, if I know him.
That's fair. You can do two things at once. Just randomly hit a button, see if you can't beat Brian that way. Somebody's got to.
That's the spirit. Schwarzenegger.
Brian, you take home too many stickers. We got to get you some competition.
Yeah, I'm not it. I'm sorry. I tried, but
I mean, I tried too, but
I believe I've usurped Brian once, and I'm very proud of that.
absolutely.
By like a point.
All right, I think our Knicks watcher is not going to be joining us, so I'll go ahead and get us started. You are still able to join after once it's started, but
I tried to share him the link, but he said it wasn't working.
Oh,
Is he trying to get in?
Yeah,
Okay.
he said that it wouldn't work for him. So, but don't worry about it. We'll
okay. Yeah, sometimes it's the browser. It doesn't like some of them. All right, we'll get it started. Good luck, everyone.
So many words.
So many words.
Ah.
I hope I do good on this. I feel bad if I don't get these all right. Okay, second place. All right.
It likes to go for how fast you answer as well as correctness, which is how Brian keeps getting us.
Okay. Okay, I gotta be faster.
Brian's really
It's all
tough to
about
beat.
speed.
I feel like if I go faster, I'm gonna get it wrong though.
I've been invaded. Hello.
Sometimes to be jerky, there's more than one answer that's right, and it's fine to just grab the first one you find.
Okay. All right. Okay. Oh man, come on now. Let's get it together. How many questions are there?
10.
Okay, I gotta catch back.
Isla's got a big purr.
Quit chewing the microphone, you little butt.
I mean, it was also so people could sing along in theaters.
It did have some good ones. The Heat of the Night, and the what is it called? The Barge song. That was a good one. Stevie Wonder was on the soundtrack.
Right? How cool was that? Although apparently a couple of them did get up for the Golden Razzies.
Did they?
Yeah.
Wow.
The Heaven song and one of the others. I was like, oh, well.
Okay, making a comeback. Here we go.
All right, gotta bring my A game.
Quick, Isla, distract him.
Rotoscoping.
Not the baby oil. Okay.
Oh,
All right. Oh man. I think I got it one wrong. Crap. I got it wrong.
there was so much Coca-Cola product placement in that restaurant.
That was
So much.
Coca-Cola. Why did I pick that?
I saw White and Privilege, and I was like, that's
Tricky.
got to be right.
I saw patriarchy.
There's no all of the above choice.
That's what that was. Oh yeah, I didn't do an all of the above. That would be extra mean. So I did maybe people go all the way through and then try to figure out which one is not it.
Right.
We covered this on the show.
Yeah. There we go.
Yeah, they had a little bit of everything, and the martial arts folks they brought in to do the choreography had their own styles too. So very nice.
Missed that one.
Yeah, I didn't really
Choked on
mock-
the last question.
I quit. Ah, that was a good quiz.
Yeah, it was.
Couldn't beat Brian. I could not
but
beat
like
Brian.
so close up on it. Very nice.
Nobody beats Brian.
It was close. It was close. Next time.
Next time I'm writing the quiz.
Oh, okay.
Brian
we're
is the
watching-
last dragon.
Next week, we're watching Thrash. Thrash
that's
has
fun.
been told to us to be an absolute dog shit movie.
Uh-oh.
And I'm going to write an absolute dog shit quiz. And everyone's going to hate it. I'm just going to try and make y'all laugh.
That's fair. That's
That's my
how Baby
plan.
Oil got into one of my questions.
Is this the hurricane movie?
Yes, that's the hurricane movie. Having lived in the South, I have opinions about how hurricane movies should go.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Where did you live in the South?
I've lived in Alabama and Florida.
Okay. I'm in North Carolina now, so
Okay, yeah.
but Florida is a different world.
Oof, and how?
that's
Mhm.
where I am right now.
Yeah. I got family that stays down there. They're close to Kissimmee, I think it is.
Yeah,
So they're near Disney and all that, but Florida it's a special place.
it really, really is. High script.
Hey, well, I thank y'all for doing this. It's not often I get to talk about my favorite movie with cool people, so I
Hey.
appreciate y'all.
No,
It's
and
great
thanks,
hanging with you.
yeah, and thanks for suggesting the movie and coming out and talking about it. And I can totally see the tie-ins for, having the interesting Black characters who are out there. Like it seems like they're both kind of a well-grounded, well-developed, and that you're going to be having a lot of fun with them. So,
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So
There's a lot
everyone
of
should.
and will your child ever forgive you for putting them in there?
well, my son, he he even does TikToks with me now, so he'll every now and then he'll jump in.
You have a child willing to social media with you? You are winning as a dad.
I know,
Oh,
right?
wow.
I know, right? But I can only I try to not force him into it. So
Mhm.
but his friends have seen him on my TikTok, and he kind of enjoys it. I have I got a good number of followers on TikTok, and they're all in that age range where going viral is a cool thing. So so now he'll come in as my manager. He's the boss of Ace Blade. So
Oh,
he gets to
yeah.
boss me around on
Some
online. So he
ownership.
likes
That's awesome.
Okay, I see why else he likes it. Nice.
yeah.
He's got some skin in the game. So yeah, everyone should head over to the Kickstarter. There's a link in the YouTube, and you can see it on the screen. Sign up to get notified of when Ace Blade goes live, and definitely support that project and our friend Danny.
Thank you so much.
And of course, join us next week when we'll be talking about Thrash. I'm going to write a terrible quiz. Everyone's going to hate me and shout bad words at me. At least that's my plan.
I feel like we should have some of the soundtrack as our extra music for this episode.
Or all future episodes.
Mm-hmm,
Copyright, but yeah.
Very important detail.
Well, thanks. We will see you all next week. Bye.
Hey, guys.
Bye.